Okay, so today I said to Bill, I think you should make those great cookies for our blog. He made these wonderful thumbprint cookies in a very whole food, plant-based way with no oil, sugar, or salt, and they are delicious. So I'm excited for him to share those with you now.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best cookies we've ever made. We we made them yesterday for our community call, and yeah, we hadn't had them for a while, had we? Had And it was like, whoa, these are so good. So we hadn't done a cooking show for you for a little while, so let's get cooking. So, like so many recipes that we make, it usually comes out of something we remembered having that we really liked when we were younger, but it used the classic, especially for baked goods, uh, sugar, salt, flour, oil. What else? That's kind of it, I guess. Those are the main ingredients, aren't they? And we don't use any of that stuff anymore. So what do we do? Oh, eggs. That's the other thing, right? So we're going to make a chia egg. And you may have heard of flax eggs. Chia eggs are the same thing. They're just the seeds with the water. And when you put flax seeds or chia seeds in water, they get real gelatinous, a lot like the consistency of an egg. And it does that same thing in baked goods. It helps to bind it all together. So I put a tablespoon of chia in a third of a cup of water. Now, a classic chia seed is usually 1 tablespoon of chia to 3 tablespoons of water. That makes it more the consistency of an egg. But we need a little extra water in this recipe to make it the right consistency, make that cookie batter the right consistency. So rather than doing the chia seed in 3 tablespoons of water and then adding other water later, I keep it simple. All the water is right here in this chia egg. Okay, so a question came up yesterday. Do we need to grind the chia seeds? For a chia egg, you do not need to grind them. The reason we grind the flaxseed when we make a flax egg is because if we don't, the seed coat on flax is such that our digestive enzymes don't break it down. So even though a flax egg can work without grinding it, it'll get gelatinous and hold everything together, but you don't then get all the nutrients out of the seeds. They just pass right through. So if you do a flax egg, grind the flax seeds. If you do a chia egg, you don't need to grind them. So we've got our egg in the making here. You want to let it, sit in the water for at least 5 minutes, 5, 10 minutes. So that'll be working while we're doing everything else. Now for the thumbprint cookies, we're going to use raspberries. And the classic thumbprint cookies, just let's go get some jam. So there again, we often have fruit with a lot of sugar in it. So all that we do is we take frozen fruit or fresh fruit and we just put it on the stove and boil it down until it gets the consistency of jam. So I put a cup of raspberries in this little pot. So I'm going to turn this on. I've thawed them, and now I'm going to turn it on so that it'll come to a boil, and we'll start boiling off that extra liquid. And it'll just reduce it down to a nice jam consistency, and then we'll put it in our cookies. Okay, now we're going to make the cookie batter. 3/4 of a cup of oats. This replaces the flour. So it is a bit processed. You know, the rolled oat is not the whole oat. And we're going to cut it up a little finer than this too. So it is a little bit processed, but not nearly as much as the flour. And Connie and I really like the texture that the more chunkiness of the whole foods gives to most baked goods that we do, particularly to this cookie. The classic cookie is flour, so you've got this nice kind of soft, doughy thing. but this has crunch, so we're calling this the crunchy thumbprint cookie. Okay, we've got that. We've got a quarter of a cup of almonds. That replaces the butter. That gives us the whole food fat. We've got 2/3 of a cup of dates. That replaces the sugar. So we've got a whole food sweetener. And one thing I put into the recipe is that if these dates are kind of dry, you can soak them in hot water for like 15 minutes or so. And then it works better with the whole recipe. An option to add to these cookies is coconut. And since we did it without the coconut yesterday, we're going to do it with the coconut today. So that's kind of a fun addition too, to change the flavor out a bit. See how our egg is coming here. It's coming pretty good. And what's interesting about these eggs, I mean, as I stir it up, you want to stir it up so you don't have lumps in those chia seeds. As I stir it up, it's so much like when I used to use eggs in my baked goods, and you do this, and you'd have that stickiness of the egg. And I mean, you've got the same thing right here. It's so fascinating. Okay, so we're going to stir this up. You can hear my fruit boiling. I'm going to look at that. Yeah, I think we're there. I think we're there. Okay, so I'm going to turn that off. And you can see it's just nice and gooey. Yeah, this is going to be really good. Okay, so I've got my jam made now. We'll let that just sit on the stove until I need it. And we're going to just whir this up and get it to the chunkiness that I like. We'll do all the dry ingredients first, and then we'll add the chia. And there we have it. Chunky cookies. Now I'll add the chia, and that's going to bind it all together. Get all these little guys out of here. As my wife so really reminds me all the time, we do not want to waste a single seed. This precious, miraculous food we get all the time. It's so great. Okay, I think we got all the seeds. Oop, there's 3. Done. Okay. So now I'm just going to whir this around and get that all moistened up so we can make cookies out of it. I start with a pulse, and then I just turn it on until it starts to form a ball in there. There we have it. We now have our cookie dough. So what I do to make the cookies is I like about a 1-inch ball. And I'm going to do them on a silicone mat. You can use a silicone mat or parchment paper. It just makes it real simple for cleanup. I like to use my 1 1/8 inch cookie batter scoop. Makes it real easy. And it's a little bit more than a full scoop. And that's going to give me 8 cookies. So it's pretty quick and easy with this scoop. And then we're just going to press them out. I'll take this blade out now so I can get everything. And we'll press them out. We'll make a thumbprint. And we'll fill it with the jam. Yeah, there's 5 of them. And now I'll get my spatula to get the last of it out. our last cookie. Like this one's going to be a little bigger than the rest. Definitely bigger than the rest. So I'm going to add a little bit more each one. There we go. And now I'll make a cookie out of this one. Okay. So all that I do now is I kind of flatten it out with my hand. I like to make those edges kind of round and put a thumbprint in it. Just make that little well that's going to hold the jam in place. Okay, I'll put the thumbprint, my little edges nice and round, press it down.
The raspberries smell so good from here.
Don't they? That's the other joy of cooking at home is the wonderful smells. And of course, the smell, it's actually our whole digestive system starts to work when we smell food and when we see food. And so, yeah, it's so wonderful to have the experience of these deliciously smelling food that we cook here at home. Oh, I forgot to put the thumbprint in. Get down there. That should hold it. Okay, 2 to go.
Those are nice sized cookies too.
Yeah, they'll be nice sized cookies. Yeah, they're a little bit bigger than yesterday. We added that coconut, so they're a little bit bigger. Okay, last one. Stick in there. Press, form, and what I mentioned yesterday too is how I enjoy playing with my food. I like getting my hands in it. So there we go. There's my cookies. There's my hands. Throw my hands. And put the raspberries in it. Okay. So, go in here. It doesn't take much, especially with the raspberries. The raspberries have a really nice full-bodied flavor. You can use almost any fruit. You know, we've done it with blueberries, strawberries. We've done it with mango. What else have we used? You know, you can use blackberries, cherries. Oh, the other thing that we'll include with the recipe too is chocolate sauce. We make a great chocolate sauce. So, you know, this would kind of be a chocolatey version, kind of like a chocolate chip thumbprint cookie that would use a chocolate sauce in here instead of putting chocolate chips in. So that's another option too, which is tasty for sure. Which one needs more? Give this guy a little. And again, we hate to waste any little bit in here. So I'm going to give this guy a little more. And that's the end of it. Oop. Okay. Yum. And we'll throw those in the oven. We use, see, one of the things I like about a recipe this size too is that we can do it in our little toaster oven. It's a Ninja 9-in-1 toaster oven air fryer. We love this Ninja toaster oven air fryer. We use it, gosh, almost every day because we can bake small batches. You know, if we just want to bake like 2 yams or sweet potatoes, instead of heating up the great big oven to do that in, we can do it in this little Ninja and it preheats like in 15 seconds. When I use the big oven, you know, it takes minutes. Sometimes it seems like 5 minutes before it comes to temp. So this is a real efficient way, energy-wise, and yeah, I like the way it works. So in they go, 12 minutes. We're done. Let's see, down to bake, 12 minutes, 350. And off we go. So that's how we make them. We're going to pause here now, and then we're going to get back to you. Well, here they are.
How lucky are we to
Oh,
get
they,
these wonderful
I know,
cookies?
they smell so good. They
Yeah.
look like a lot of fun. Can't wait for them. They're just on a cooling rack and let them cool for a few minutes, and then they're ready to eat.
Great.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah, see you next week.
Bye for now.
Bye.